With the issue of child protection being a concern that has been raised more recently in the community, professionals from various government agencies, businesses and the public have attended the workshops put on by two trainers from the London Probation Trust. The sessions focused on trying to help people gain a better understanding of domestic violence and sexual offences in a remote community like the Falklands.
It may be isolated geographically, but the sorts of factors that give rise to domestic abuse and sexual abuse are going to be very common all over the place. What's different is where communities are up to in terms of their recognition, the ease of reporting, and clearly things have quite significantly changed in recent years in terms of convictions and people serving sentences, particularly for sexual offences. And that, by all accounts, has had a big impact on people trying to understand it, think about it.
The trainers spoke to prisoners jailed for sexual offences to analyse the work currently being done, which highlighted how things could be improved and allowed them to implement some of this into their training programmes.
We've spent time in the prison meeting with the men there, talking to them about their experiences and recognising that actually not a great deal is going on in terms of intervention work with them to try and help them understand and work out more about their motivation to offend, the needs that were being met. Our work is very much about increasing their understanding so that with that they can develop a greater sense of responsibility for their offending and be able to better manage themselves when they come out. And that's almost the next phase.
Those who participated in the course will hope it will allow them to better serve the community and to help prevent domestic abuse and sexualised offences from plaguing the islands by being more capable of recognising them and having the knowledge of how to intervene.
If a community we all pull together, which I've only been here just under 2 years, but the island, though I do like it about the island, is everybody pulls together. So maybe if we pull together as a community and people that are, like myself and other people that have been on courses that have that relevant qualification or experience, can then help people that have been through what's happened to them and able to move on.
Looking to the future and the eventual release of those imprisoned for domestic violence and sexual behaviour, one of the trainers, Dermot Brady, thought the Falklands was taking the right steps by discussing these issues.
At the end of the day, there's a number of men serving prison sentences and they will all come out into the community. Some of them have quite long sentences, but eventually they're going to be released. We don't put people in prison forever. They will have to come out and they will have to live and work in their communities. The Falklands, because it's a small society and people tend to know each other and know a fair bit about each other, are also quite used to accommodating each other. So they kind of have to live and work together in the same society. There's going to be some interesting challenges for people, I think. When people will come out, do they feel that the person is being suitably monitored? Do we feel that the kind of risk is reduced sufficiently? And in particular, are children safe? I have a feeling from listening to the conversations that we've had in the training over the past week or so, people are very actively engaged in thinking about these things. And if a community is actively engaged in that, they're more likely to take responsibility for it collectively. And that's the kind of thing that our experience in the training has taught us. Because when you train, part of training is also to learn from, listen to what people have to say, and there's certainly a very active conversation and dialogue happening in the community about these issues, so that kind of leads me to think that people will manage it well.
Terry believes that the described culture of silence is starting to be broken down by people who are feeling more capable of reporting offences to the police.
People are now saying that this is not acceptable, it's not acceptable on wherever you live, whether it's the Falklands, UK, Canada, New Zealand, it's not acceptable anywhere, It's that people are now feeling confident. Maybe it's because, they're stronger in themselves, or they've now got the confidence in the police force and they've got the confidence in social services for that. So why people are coming forward, maybe community, we can then raise that confidence, give the police, give the social services the support that they need because if there is more, then they're going to need more resources. So maybe look at myself and other people that I've seen that have experience and use those resources wisely and to fight against it.
Chief Inspector Len McGill is a key proponent in this process of changing attitudes, along with the work of the soon-to-be-launched Safeguarding Children campaign.
Well, it's important to take child safety into the community. For too long it's been the reserve, if you like, of things like the police and social services and the medical department. We need to take it out into the community, because the community are the best people to protect children. And we do that by providing education to parents, to carers, to everyone in the community. We want to show them what child abuse is, how to recognise it, how to report it, how to assist people to bring it forward.
With this cooperation between the police force and the community, it's hoped that more abusive behaviour will be noticed and recognised sooner. By equipping the community with these skills, in the long run, the survivors of sexual and domestic abuse will have a larger support network to assist in their road to recovery.